who's tracking the story and will be covering the events in court today. Paula, a very good morning to you. What do we expect to happen in court today?
Good morning, Dan. Well, it really has been a long journey since that day that Patrick Maqubela's body was found in his Bantry Bay apartment in June 7th, 2009. Now remember, Dan, Thandi Maqubela and her co-accused Vela Mabela were only arrested a year after Patrick Maqubela's body was found. And the court case has been ongoing. In the very court that he was an acting judge, his murder trial has been playing out here. There were some postponements after Thandi Maqubela had to get funds and change her lawyers, but we are finally here to hear the Judge John Murphy's verdict on murder charges for Thandi Maqubela and Vela Mabena, her co-accused, as well as forgery and fraud charges leveled against Thandi Maqubela, where she is accused of manifesting a will which the state alleges never existed. So we will hear what Judge John Murphy has to say.
Very briefly, Paul, I mean, this case has taken such a long time, 4 years on now. Just to recap for us, that what actually happened? What is this, especially the murder side of the case?
Well, it would be a very hard case to call. It's certainly not a watertight case, especially with the murder charges for the state. There's a lot of circumstantial evidence placing Vela Mabena and Thandi Maqubela at the flat on the day which the judges are believed to have died, which is 2 days prior to which his body was found. There are witnesses placing them at the Bantry Bay apartment. There are cell phone records showing a few calls between the two of them. Now remember, they are business associates, so the defense had said these calls were very normal. But there is no concrete evidence of DNA and fingerprinting placing them at the scene. The state alleges that Thandi Maqubela and Vela Mabena had suffocated the judge with cling wrap, but it's been very hard to prove that. In fact, the judge had changed the charge sheet to death by suffocation or something unknown to the prosecution. So the evidence isn't as concrete as I'm sure the state would have liked to have proved, but certainly a lot of circumstantial evidence placing the two at the flat at the time.
Okay, thank you very much. That's eNCA reporter Paula Chowles will be covering the story there of the judgment on the Judge Patrick Maqubela's trial.
News that moves. eNCA.com.